Hello guys. Now today we start instead of being this chapter of the GI tract, but now under these circumstances, this pandemic situation, as well the academic purpose, as well the people interest, we will try to learn the SARS-CoV-2 infections or the COVID virus infections. So actually today I will also talk about some Bengali languages, so that in the people there is the whole the medical student as well as general people both can learn it and make the sure about the COVID viruses. So without wasting the time, we will study the SARS associated COVID-2 infections or the coronaviruses. Now what is the SARS means? A stands for the severe, A for acute, R for respiratory, S for syndrome, associated, CO means corona, V stands for the virus, and 2 infections. So this is the main full name of this infection is a severe acute respiratory syndrome or coronavirus or the COVID-2 infections. Okay. So what is the introduction? Actually this is the pandemic we are now learning going on. So what is the word this pandemic means? Actually it is a Greek word. This pans means all and demic means the people. So without any kind of geological barrier or without any kind of continental barriers, this disease can spread all over the world. So that's why this is the pandemic situations. So if you can ask me, so cancer is a pandemic. Also, it is throughout the world. The second largest cause of the death all over the world is a cancer. No sir, cancer is not pandemic. Why? Because cancer is not infectious. So it may be also the no geological barrier it will be have. And second, it must have the infectious. Now, earlier we have learned that there is a bubonic plague, then there is influenza, AIDS, then there is a cholera pandemic. These are some other kinds of the pandemic we will be seeing. After before the 100 years ago, there is a Spanish flu. It's a famous pandemic situation also. But the pandemic we will also learn that there is a sanitization, this mechanism under the pre-sanitization, pre-penicillin era to the now sanitization will be now higher. So there will be the civilization property will get changes, and now that also this COVID infections or whatever the pandemic virus causing infections, this also will get changes. Similar like that, and in the pre-penicillin era, we seems that generally the most of the pandemic viruses causing viruses affect the GI tracts. But nowadays, it seems that most of the viruses affect the respiratory tract. So this is one of the most kind of the changes that we see in the pandemic causing viruses. So today we will learn about the microbiology, what is the pathology, and what about the pharmacology. This very much kind of a pharmacology in the home basic pharmacology. What a clinician do during the home based isolation cases. That we will just study today. And if possible in the next class, what is the generally we will try to what are the protocols are there, what are the MRI, what are the etc and etc treatments are now we will study in details. Okay. So today we will start to learning the microbiology portion. Okay. Now in microbiology we will study about the COVID virus. Now as earlier this SARS associated COVID-2 infections. Now the microbiology it is the first is a single stranded RNA virus. It is a single stranded RNA virus. Now what is the structure of this virus? Now if we learn that there is a LPL model of the cell membrane, similarly this virus also has the LPL model of the cell membrane. So we will draw. This is the cell membrane of the virus. This is the 1L, 1L. So in the L and L, there is some the proteins are also embedded. So what are these proteins are now embedded? This blue color stands for the spike protein or the S. This black color stands for the membrane protein or the M. And here the red colors, those are stands for the envelope proteins. So these are the all over this cell membrane. Now inside the cell membrane, now there is a cytosol. Now there is a nucleus is present. There is no bounded cell organelles because it's the prokaryotic. So there is a nucleus which is naked nucleuses. So suppose there is some naked nucleuses. So this is the nuclear caspase protein, whose is the N. Envelope is the E. This spike protein is the major cause of the viral part of this virus. This is the main culprit of this virus. This is the spike proteins. Okay. So this is the structure of the virus. Now we will learn about the classification of the viruses. What are the receptor of the viruses, and what about the cell pathology and the attack of the viruses. Now this single-stranded SARS-CoV viruses actually, and also SARS actually is the COVID virus, sorry. So this COVID virus actually have the 4 types: alpha, beta, gamma and the delta. This alpha and the beta will affect the birds and the mammals. So these are the causing virus, alpha and beta. Among them, alpha is the mild syndrome, অল্প রোগ বিস্তার করবে. See, beta is the severe causes generally. Now mild syndromes, it may also be the alpha or it may also will be the beta. The alpha will be the having this the 229E. These are the some examples, and this is the there is the NL63. Beta will have the OC43, and this is the HKU1. While severe, another classification is the MERS virus, whose full form is mild Eastern respiratory syndrome associated coronaviruses. This word corona is actually from the crown-shaped virus. That's why it's called the corona. Then SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome associated coronaviruses. SARS-2, and the other type is the SARS-2. Now we will generally affect now the severe cause is the MERS associated coronaviruses and the SARS associated coronaviruses. Generally we will see that this receptor of this MERS associated coronaviruses are the DPP, dipeptidase. These are the receptor, while these two SARS have the receptor is the angiotensin converting enzyme 2, ACE2. These two, DPP and the ACE2, are located in the lower respiratory tract, means in the lungs, and there is a columnar epithelial cells. So lower respiratory tract. While these mild causing alpha and the beta coronaviruses are generally affect the upper respiratory tract. Okay, so these are the classification of the coronaviruses. Next, we will try to say about the transmission of coronaviruses. So, as like the transmission of the coronaviruses, this transmission of the coronavirus has the 3 stages. First of all, it is the zoonotic stage. Then there is a community transmission stage, and then there is the transformation stage. You may also transformation also. Zoonotic stage means generally you all know that this is the earlier before the 2019-16 November. Generally, very few amount of the researches are going on due to these viruses. But after this pandemic situation is rising, then the number of the researchers are going on, and we will learn about try that. This is a bat who will be the first will carry these viruses. So bat, pangolin, these are the common cause. This is the zoonotic stage of these viruses. From the bat, now in the human, suppose we will having this virus. So in human to human, it may be the passes through the number of the processes are there. There is a hand-to-hand contacts are there. Hand-to-hand contacts, or there may be also droplets. Means it may be the passes through the larger droplets. Also it may passes the smaller droplets. That's why due to these droplets we should use the mask, and due to the hand-to-hand contact we should use the hand sanitizers. Now the transformation stage, generally the blood transfusion, organ transplantation, now see, if a COVID-19 virus positive, a mother deliver a patient, now the patient also with a COVID-19 positive. Now why? Then when the research are going on, still now there is a not found that if it is maybe the placental or during the delivery. It is a not found, but also from the mother to the fetus or the baby, there are also the COVID viruses. So from the mother. So these are generally the transmission of the coronaviruses. Okay. So next we will discuss about the attack and what is the mechanism, how does they are destroying us. Okay. So this is the mechanism, how does this coronavirus are invade us. Suppose this is the coronavirus and this is S protein. So this is the S protein, this is the coronavirus. Now suppose this is the receptor. Suppose this is the receptor. Okay. And this is the ACE2 type of the receptor ligands. Clear? Now if you zoom this part, so there is the one kind of this portion and there is this portion. This is the structure of the S protein. This head of the S protein is called the S1 part, while this part is called the S2 part. This junction of the S1 and S2 is clinically very, very important. How? Now, before the invading us, general requirement of cleavage this junction means this junction must have to be cleavage. How does? From the receptor, there is a one enzyme is passes. This is known as the transmembrane protein. What is name? The transmembrane protein, and this causes the proteolytic cleavage. Proteolytic cleavage of this S1 S2 junctions. Now, as it cleaves, means this connection will get break. So there is only the S1 part will get enters to the receptor. Only this S1 part. This S1 part is only enters. Now what does? Around this S1 there is the capsid is still present. So what does? There are some lysosomal enzymes are there. What? There are some of the lysosomal enzymes are there, which will be the degrade these capsids. So there will be the capsidless. Now there will be the undergo the replications and the transcriptions. This is the viral RNA form, and from the viral RNA there is the number of the COVID infected virus are formed. So this is the mechanism. How does the coronavirus will they invade us? Now, if we put the medicines, so where we will block and how will we use these medicines? May we have the block this transmembrane protein block. Then may also we have the block these lysosomal enzymes. May we also have block these viral RNA formations, means there is the RNA polymerase enzyme inhibitors, and may also we have used these ACE2 type blockers, means transmembrane protein blocker, ACE2 receptor blocker, lysosomal enzyme preventers, and there's a RNAP inhibitors. These 4 kinds of the medicines we have now researches are going on about according to these mechanisms. Clear? Now we will about to this we will study what is the life cycle of this virus. It's very easy, as like the other virus. It's similar like the other viruses. Suppose there is a MERS associated coronaviruses, or there will be the SARS associated coronaviruses. MERS associated coronavirus enter through the DPP type of the receptors, dipeptidyl peptidase. SARS will be entered to the ACE2 type of receptors. These two are the enters. There is an uncoating stage of the virus, followed by the replication, followed by the transcription, followed by the translation, and then there is the viral RNA will be formation, and from here the virus will be derived. So number of the virus will be now available. So this is the life cycle of this virus. So generally this is the part of the microbiology we will have to see of this COVID virus. Now one part I have the mistake here. There is a S1 protein above. This S1 protein, if we draw this again, this S1 protein and S2 protein is spike proteins may have the 2 stages. It has a standing condition and it has a lying condition. The standing condition is the active condition. This condition is active condition. While suppose these two are the much more invading, means they are evaginating. This is the lying condition, and this lying condition actually is very much the ineffective. So this is the about the microbiology portion of the main culprit of nowadays is the SARS associated coronavirus or the COVID viruses. Now, what is the pathological manifestations of due to this SARS associated coronaviruses? First of all, this SARS associated coronavirus generally affect the causes the vasculitis, means it damages the endothelial cell lining. Blood vessels এর আশেপাশে যে সেলগুলো রয়েছে তাকে ধ্বংস করবে. As it causes the vasculitis, so there is all the organs which will be supplied by the vascular supply. So generally all are the damages. Now give me one example where there is no vascular supply. There is no organs in our body. There is no vascular supply is possible. So all the organs generally are affected by these coronaviruses. Now suppose there is a SARS associated coronavirus infections. As it infects, so there is an activation of the target cell. We will see the picture activation of the target cell. As it causes vasculitis, so generally it will damage this the 3 damages. 3 targets are there. There is a pneumocytes or the lung cell, ফুসফুসের কোষগুলিকে. Second, there is an endothelial cell, blood vessels সেলগুলোকে, and also the GI tract, gastrointestinal tract. As it damages the pneumocytes, so there will be the exudations will be the occur. Now exudates are the protein rich, so they are causes the hyalinations. Hyaline rich means there is the stiffness of the lung increases, so there is a less oxygen supply. Less oxygen supply means cause the hypoxia, and that should be the causes the acute respiratory syndrome. Now, where we have seen this acute respiratory syndrome? Acute respiratory syndrome is very common in case of the newborn child because of the deficiency of the lung surfactant, lecithin or the phosphatidylcholine and the dipalmitoyl phosphatidylcholine. So, there is also causes the acute respiratory syndrome because of the hypoxia. Now, endothelial cell damage, there causes the WBC recruitment and there causes the cytokine storm. GI tract, there causes the diarrhea and there will be the necrotizing enterocolitis. One more factor, due to this endothelial cause, there also causes the thrombus formation. These cytokine storm and the thrombus formations, these two factors are generally together called the multi-organ failures. Now, we will repeatedly see that say that if diarrhea, please go. So there is a diarrhea is one of the very most common of symptoms, early symptoms. Acute respiratory syndrome means oxygen deficiency. There is a ventilation should be provided by provide the artificial oxygen. There is a multi-organ failure. There is a cytokine storm will be happen, and then there is a WBC recruitment will be the occur. This WBC recruitment means the numbers of the neutrophil actually should get increases. As the WBC number decreases. So as the neutrophil number increases, other WBC number decreases. So also the neutrophil with the febrile response will be get increases. As the febrile response increases, so there will be the cause the fever. So this acute respiratory syndrome, multi-organ failure, diarrhea and the fever. These are the general very much common features of the general pathology. Now we will just see how under the systemic pathology we will go on and see how does it will the causes. Before that, we will just study our details in the acute respiratory syndrome. Okay. Now here we will study about the acute respiratory syndrome. Now suppose this is the general man about not a common coronavirus will be infectious people. This is the lung pulmon alveoli. And here, this is the COVID virus infected people whose lung alveoli. Generally, we will also see that there is a two types of cell in the lung alveoli. This is the border cell. This is the pneumocyte cell. Pneumocyte type 1 cell. This is the another cell. This is called the pneumoglandular cell or the Clara cell. This pneumoglandular cell secretes the lecithin. This lecithin acts as a lung surfactant, reduces the surface tension, causes the smoothness of the pulmonary alveoli. That's why we will the very easy to get breath. Now what's happened? Suppose there is the infection of these coronaviruses. Suppose there is an infection of these coronaviruses. Now, due to the coronavirus infections, there is an activation of the macrophages. So this is the activation of macrophages. Macrophage does what? It will be the secreting the TNF, tumor necrosis factor, and interleukin 8. Does what? There will be the, suppose this is the blood vessels. In the pulmonary, there is a number of the blood vessels up there. So there is a neutrophils. So in neutrophils, this is the very common of the diapetesis of the neutrophil and the migrations. So they are causes the diapetesis of the neutrophils. This neutrophil will causes the secretion of IL-6 tissue necrosis factors, and due to this factor will causes the secretion of the proteins, interleukin and the puff. These are all proteinaceous structures are there. That's why they are causes the protein deposition, and this is the hyaline degeneration will be the same, and this is called the hyaline membrane formations, and there will be the hyaline membrane formation. These are all the hyaline membrane formations, and this causes stiffness of the lung, and there is the acute respiratory syndrome. Again I mentioned, so macrophage activation due to the coronaviruses, then causes the some triggering factor, tumor necrosis factor, IL-8, interleukin 8, diabetes of the neutrophil, secretion of the IL-6 and TNF mediated by the proteins, interleukin, puff, and this is the cause the hyaline membrane formation. As the hyaline membrane will form here, so the histopathologically the honeycomb shaped appearance of the lung will be the honeycomb appearance now get reduces, and it is the much more glossy appearance in the microstructure in the hematoxylin eosin strain. So this is may also called the hyaline degenerations will be occurred. Hyaline degenerations will be occurred. So this is the main of the respiratory acute syndromes. Now, what are the stages of this respiratory acute syndromes? This respiratory acute syndrome will have the 3 stages. There is an exudative stage, there is a proliferative stage, and the fibrotic stage. The exudative stage means there is a exudations will occur, means there is a hyaline membrane formation will occur. So there is a hyaline membrane formation. Proliferative phase, actually this word is a very vague word. Proliferative stage means there is causing infection causing viruses are coming from the outside. So this is a virus entered from this stage. More number of the virus will enter. And this fibrotic stage is actually the damaging part, means at the end of this virus there is a fibrous component will get deposited on this lung, and that's why the stiffness of the lung will get increases. People may suffer from the oxygen level saturation level fall. People will also now hear what does there is a respiratory, some physiotherapies are there. There are some inflammations are there. Due to some the vital capacity also get decreases, and thus what there will be the glucocorticoid will also get increases. That's why the dexamethasone is very much important to put in case of the COVID virus infections. Earlier, if we put the glucocorticoid, dexamethasone inhibiting, this inhibit the glucocorticoid will increase the coronavirus. But the latter stages, we will put the dexamethasone as a very much effective drugs of the coronaviruses. So this is the fibrotic stage. Now, what are the days long? Suppose it is 0 and this duration is 21 days. So exudative is the 7 days, proliferative is the 14 days, and the fibrotic for the 21 days, 21st days of this coronavirus infection stages. Now, what will be the scene in this case? Exudative stage, if we see in the lungs, in the lung there is a numbers of the whole like structure. These are the seen in the X-ray. Means there is the infection in the chest X-ray. There is the infection will be the here. And what we will see in case of the proliferative stage, this exudative stage will get increases. Inflammation will go going on, and this causes the proliferative stages. And last is the fibrotic stage. This is the generally healing procedure. During the healing procedure, this fibrotic changes will occur. So these are the stages of the acute respiratory syndromes. Now after that we will be the study about the systemic pathology. Now as earlier we will say that the main pathological infestation due to the COVID-19 virus is the vasculitis. So I write down here the vasculitis. due to the vasculitis, there are the three major changes will be happen. What are the changes? There is the epithelial changes, vascular changes, and there is a fibrotic changes. Epithelial changes, vascular changes, fibrotic changes. Now, most of the blood supply, vascular supply are happening generally in case of the lung. So, lung is the worstly affected due to the COVID-19 virus infestation. Moreover, the kidney, there also the blood infiltration will occur. That's why there also causes the vasculitis problems. Then there would be the brain. There also the internal carotid artery will also causes the vasculitis some problems. Liver also maybe they have damages. So these are the some changes and leads to multi-organ failure in case of the SARS-associated coronavirus infections. So one by one we will see what are the changes will be occurs. So in case of the lungs, what are the epithelial changes are seen? This is the diffuse the alveolar damage. Diffused alveolar damage. Then there also causes the desquamation. Pneumocyte count should be get increases. Then there is a cell fusion as like the para-influenza virus. That's why there is a as like the rhinitis. First there is a common cold will also appears. Then there will be the squamous cell metaplasia. These are seen in the epithelial damages. Vascular damages, this is the alveolar hemorrhage. There causes the thrombus formation. There are some causes the congestion. Fibrotic changes, interstitial fibrotics. Then there is a microcystic honeycombing formation. Honeycombing formations, and also the edema. Lung gets swelled up. So these are the some common infestations in case of the lung, the COVID-19 virus infections. Next, we will discuss about the cardiovascular manifestation. How does the heart affected due to this COVID-19 viruses? So, in case of the heart, there causes the pericarditis. Secondly, there causes the myocarditis. Then there causes the edema formations also. And then there will be the fibrosis. Now, if you can remember, in case of the first wave of the COVID virus, we generally use the azithromycin and the hydroxychloroquine. Now, repeatedly doctors say that there is a please check your heart, then use the hydroxychloroquine. Now why? This hydroxychloroquine, which will be the anti-malarial drug, and there is the azithromycin. These two drugs will causes the QT syndrome QT segment prolongations. Means, suppose where I draw. Suppose this is your ECG. There is a P wave, Q wave, R, S, and then there is a T. P, Q, R, S, and T. This QT syndrome segment prolongation will be occur due to the azithromycin and the hydroxychloroquine. So there causes a QT segment prolongation. As there causes the QT segment prolongations, so there is the long duration of the polarization time. Means where I draw now. Suppose this is the segment of the depolarization curve. So here the polarized state to depolarized state, initial depolarization will be the occur and for polarization will occur, and again there is a polarization will occur. So this duration, this is the plateau duration, 40 microsecond occurrence, long durations. This plateau will be get increases. As the plateau increases, so more the calcium ion infiltrations, so more number of the calcium ions, and this will be the causes the arrhythmia, and this causes the arrhythmia. Now see, if the patient already have the suffering from the myocarditis, further there is arrhythmia due to the introduced to the hydroxychloroquine azithromycin. So there is a severe problems now get arises. That's why the doctors always say that please do ECG at first, see the your QT segment, and then we will provide you the azithromycin or the hydroxychloroquine. This is the why these several times we will ask the patient to report the ECG first, to report the hydroxychloroquine azithromycin. Next, we will discuss how does the hepatobiliary system or the liver will get affected due to the COVID virus affections. Hepatobiliary systems. Now see, the hepatobiliary system liver, the Gleason's capsule is the most common site for the steatosis. Means there is a fatty change will occurs. Triglyceride or the simple fatty acid will get accumulated. So right, there is a mild steatosis. Mild steatosis. Secondly, there causes the patchy necrosis. Patchy necrosis. Mild zone 3 associated, there is a sinusoidal dilatations. Sinusoidal dilatations. Kupffer cell hyperplasia. Kupffer cell hyperplasia. Kupffer cell is the phagocytic cell in the hepatobiliary system. Kupffer cell hyperplasia. Now, what is I mentioned the mild zone 3? What is this? Suppose I should use the red color. So, learning about the histopathological study. Suppose this is the Gleason's capsule, the unit of the hepatocytes. Polygonal separate Gleason's capsule. Now, we learned that in the center there is a central vein. Due to the histologically, we will learn that. And surrounding in it, there causes the portal triads. So, suppose there is the portal triads. What are the three components of portal triad? There is the hepatic arterioles, portal venules, and the bile ductules. So draw it first, then I will say. Now, you see, due to this hepatic arterioles, which will get the supply the nutrition, because the artery is supplying the nutrition, blood supply nutrition. Now, vein is only the vein. So, if we move from this direction to this directions, so there the nutrition supply does what? From this direction to this direction we move. So, what is the nutrition supply? The nutrition supply also should get decreases, because here is the artery, but here is no oxygenous blood will present, so the nutrition supply get decreases. That's why according to the nutrition supply, this Gleason's capsule region classified into the three parts. This is the zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. As the nutrition supply already get decreases lesser in case of zone 3, because it's near the, sorry, I will just opposite to here. Actually here this is the zone 3, this is the zone 2, this is zone 1. So in this zone 3, as the nutrition supply is very much get decreases. So already it will very much have damage the earlier than the zone 1 and zone 2. Okay, so this is the, I say, the mild zone 3 sinusoidal dilatations. Is very important for the liver. Now we will just see what are the renal changes we'll see. Renal changes. of there is again the SARS associated coronavirus infections. As the SARS associated coronavirus infections, vasculitis occur, reduced thrombus formation will occur. So I compare the thrombus formation. As the thrombus formation reduce the blood supply. As there is a reduce the blood supply, so there will be the reduce the GFR. And there will be also ischemia will occur. As there is a ischemia, so there will be the detachment of the cells. There causes the detachment of the cells. As there is a detachment of the cells, so there is a cast formation. As there is a cast formation, so there again the prevent the filtrations. This prevent the filtration also will be get the reduces the GFR value. So that causes the oliguria. As there is the oliguria, reduces the GFR, also will causes the activation of the renin-angiotensin converting enzyme, renin-angiotensin and the aldosterone systems. So RAS will get also activated. This oliguria may also will be the occur due to the shock, and there is the left ventricular hyperplasia. So this is the renal changes will occur due to the COVID SARS-2 virus infections. Last is the how does the brain will be get affected with the COVID virus infestations. Now see, there is a edema formations, then there will be the encephalopathy, and the third there will be some of the what you say, there will be the also some other the sustained hemorrhagia will also occur. So these are the brain changes, and this is the very minute change actually in the brain, but these are the very severe also. If the cases will be the very much severe, then the also severe brain changes also occur in the SARS-CoV-2 infections. So this is the main pathologic and the systemic pathological infestation, the SARS-CoV-2 infections. Okay, so now there is a list of drugs now here, which will be the generally we will use in case of the people, those who are the living in the house. Actually, these are the components of the chemical components of the drugs. You may be the in the market, is another number of names are there, and these are, but this is the main components. First, we will see what is the remdesivir. So earlier I will be the mention there is a 4 groups of the drug, functions of 4 types. It may be the damage of transmembrane protein, there is a lysosomal enzymes, the ACE2 blockers, or there is the RNAP inhibitors. Now see what is the function of these kind of drugs. Now remdesivir is the anti-replicating drugs. Anti-replicating drugs. It prevents the replication of the virus, means proliferation number of the virus will be decreases. These are remdesivir functions. Then the dexamethasone, the use of the dexamethasone, when we will be using, first the initial state, it will be the never you will be the use this dexamethasone. Function of the dexamethasone, it will decreases the glucocorticoid. So later stage, when the glucocorticoid will get increases, then we should use the dexamethasone. So when we will use this dexamethasone is very much under the questionable. Next, the tocilizumab. This is actually the interleukin 6. The acute respiratory syndrome will cause by this interleukin 6 causes the damage of this interleukin 6. Then hydroxychloroquine. This is actually the anti-malarial drug. This hydroxychloroquine. And this hydroxychloroquine actually will be the QT syndrome prolongations, actually I seen earlier. And the azithromycin, which will be the causes the 93% of the viral damage within the 7 days of the use. Okay, and one point, the tocilizumab is also used in case of the acute rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis. Flavipiravir is very much used nowadays because it will be the ACE2 inhibitors, and also it will be the causes the infection rate will get decreases. Colchicine is the anti-gout drug and also used in case of the pain fiber will get damages. Then the ivermectin is also used in case of the decrease of parasitic infestations. And ivermectin also causes decrease the replication of the viruses. Vitamin C supplementations are to patients, and there is a zinconia. So earlier the days, what we should have the use, generally we will use the combination of the hydroxychloroquine, there is a zinconia, vitamin C supplementation, ivermectin. Nowadays what we'll do, we will here the remdesivir, there is the ivermectins, vitamin C supplementations, zinconia, some people also the flavipiravir. So this is the very much less on the pharmacology of the house basis treatment of the COVID SARS-CoV infections. So if the video is helpful to you guys, please subscribe the channel, like and comment as well as much possible, and please stay with us. Thank you for watching the video.